As we move further into the 21st century, what do you think are the biggest threats to global human rights and justice?
You know, war, division within a country are inimical to justice and the accomplishment of fundamental human rights. Majorities, very often minorities and dictatorships, try to justify discrimination, the lack of human rights, the violation or abrogation of fundamental rights on the basis that the state is in danger and we need these powers in order to survive. It is a false premise. Abrogating of fundamental human rights doesn't solve anything. If anything, it exacerbates the conflicts within a country. And I'm a great believer that most solutions can be solved by granting every individual, being man, woman, white, black, in between, fundamental personal rights, protected by a strong judiciary that without fear or favor does justice between man and man or man and woman. And these attempts to introduce so-called emergency measures, which they say are only there for a temporary period until peace is established, almost invariably become permanent if the population does not stand up to dictators or oligarchs taking up positions. Democracy has made progress and retrogressed, not only in small countries, but very populous and very rich countries whose governments use the threat of terrorism in order to abrogate what the ancient Greeks called laws of humanity. And to quote Thucydides, that they do not have regard that these laws of humanity are there for everyone's protection, and that by abrogating them, they will not be there when they too may be in danger and the laws were not there to protect them. So I believe that we have to campaign vigorously for the non-abrogation of fundamental rights. People should not be imprisoned or detained without trial. They should not be banned or sent into exile or deprived of economic or educational opportunities because of the color of their skin or because they are some sort of threat to an established order. We live inevitably in difficult and unfair societies and unjust societies, but we should not accept it. We should strive for the well-being of the population as a whole, as individuals. I don't know of any long-term abrogation of rights that have benefited any nation. There are problems, particularly in South Africa, that arise as a result of the abject poverty that there is in the country. because it was an unjust society for over 300 years. If you were black, your land was taken away from you, your education was not proper, you couldn't live where you wanted, you couldn't get proper training. And one hopes that even though it is very difficult to undo 300 years of continuous injustice over a period of 15 years that we have had, and we have very difficult problems relating to lack of housing, lack of proper health care, lack of proper education. The attempts to rectify the injustices of the past, the efforts have to continue in the hope of eliminating them at a faster pace than is now happening. People are impatient with some justification, but attempts have been made in South Africa in particular to accelerate the fundamental changes that are necessary for South Africa to become an egalitarian society.